Now on 4 News Now at 6, police say 8 pipe bombs found in one woman's apartment in Airway Heights. Who she blames for the explosives and why she says it has nothing to do with bomb-making notes found in her bedroom.
It has been a soggy day around the inland Northwest, and we're not done yet. I'm tracking another round of wet weather. It's going to be falling as snow tonight. I'll let you know how it's going to impact your neighborhood in the first alert forecast.
Because I don't want to see it die either. I don't know what to do to fix it.
A beloved Spokane restaurant is closing after 20 years. The owners share an emotional farewell as they prepare to serve their final dish. You're watching 4 News Now at 6.
Well, the Airway Heights woman accused of having 8 pipe bombs made her first appearance in court today.
Police arrested 54-year-old Angela Andreas Miller yesterday when the bomb squad says they found explosives in her apartment and in her car. Madeline Mullins is live outside her apartment complex. And Madeline, you spoke to her neighbors today. What do they have to say about the woman they were living so close to?
You can see Andreas Miller's apartment right behind me. It's on the 2nd floor of this complex. And the people I talked to today that know her say they had no idea she was doing any of the things she's accused of. One woman tells me that she was inside Andreas Miller's apartment and car just a few days before the bomb squad said they found 8 bombs there.
It's a case of you really don't know people.
That is how those living at the Basalt Ridge apartment complex feel after discovering someone they live next door to may have put them and their kids in danger.
I didn't think she would be building a bunch of bombs. I mean, she was a little weird, but she told me she was working on a children's book. So, yeah, night and day difference there.
Andreas Miller has had her run-ins with the law in the past. 6 prior felony convictions for money laundering, retail theft, possession of a forged check, and perjury. Stevens County deputies were at her apartment with a search warrant for fraud when they found the alleged bombs.
That she just lost everything. What was she doing? What was she thinking? Where did she get them?
Unanswered questions that officers and neighbors hope to find answers to.
So she had her secrets that she didn't share, so.
Andreas Miller told police she did not know of any bombs in her apartment. She says a couple of concerning guys were living with her and that one of them found a bomb near the apartment 2 weeks ago. She says he told her he was planning on lighting it and then moved it somewhere else. Officers say they also found notes about how to make bombs in her apartment written in her handwriting. Andrea Miller told police those notes were for a novel that she was writing.
She seemed like a sweet old lady, a grandma, yeah, total shock.
Shocking is the word that many neighbors said to me today, and after being evacuated from their homes for about 6 hours yesterday, discovering exactly how many devices were found and any danger they could have been in, they say they are just happy to be back inside their homes. Live in Airway Heights, I'm Madeline Mullins, 4 News Now.
Madeline, thank you. Our team of weather experts is tracking another round of snow on the way for the weekend.
Let's send it over to Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker to see how much you can expect where you live.
Well, it is not going to be piling up especially deep around the Spokane area. In fact, it is snowing currently looking out over the Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena, but nothing sticking yet. But that will not be the case for long. We do have winter weather advisories through Saturday morning for the area shaded in purple on your screen. It does include Coeur d'Alene, but it does not include Spokane, and that is for the snow that is going to be starting to stick. Here's a look at our radar right now, and you can see that it is widespread precipitation across the region, and many locations through the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area have transitioned to snow and points to the north. Still some rain or rain-snow mix further to the south. Our forecast radar shows that snow continuing through the evening. Here's midnight tonight, and then starting to taper off as we get into tomorrow morning, although here it is 8 o'clock on the forecast radar, and there are still a few snow flurries around the region. Again, that snow is not going to pile up much. Here's a look at some of the forecast snow totals through noon tomorrow. We've got less than an inch in general around Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, and then once that snow tapers off, we are dry for most of the rest of Saturday, heading to a high of 35. 33 is our average high, but there is another round of wet weather coming in Saturday night. I will let you know what to expect from that and have your Sunday forecast in just a few minutes, Derek.
Chris, thank you. Spokane County is paying $500,000 to settle a wrongful arrest lawsuit stemming from a homicide investigation in 2020. In December of 2019, 40-year-old Daniel Jarman was killed in a fight in a parking lot near South Pines in Sprague in Spokane Valley. Witness testimony led detectives to arrest Joseph Riley. Those charges were later dropped a few days later when investigators determined the witnesses were wrong. Riley's attorneys say he was at home with his family at the time of that incident. His attorneys believe this is the largest wrongful arrest settlement in county history.
On Monday, the Spokane City Council will vote whether to pay $500,000 settlement to a woman whose fiance was shot and killed by police in 2022. According to Spokane, police officers went to 41-year-old Robert Bradley's home in northeast Spokane to serve him an order to surrender his firearms, as well as a protection order to stay away from a neighbor. Police say when they arrived, they found Bradley in the passenger side of his van and approached him with weapons drawn. They asked to see his hands, and that's when officers said Bradley reached for a gun and they opened fire. Bradley's family says he had just returned from a camping trip with his kids and was unloading the van when officers showed up, adding officers started shooting within 3 seconds after announcing their presence. Bradley's fiance filed a wrongful death lawsuit claiming he did not know about the warrant or protection order. The county prosecutor's office eventually determined the officer's use of force was justified.
During that same meeting, the City Council will vote on a proposed construction project that's meant to make the roads safer around Stevens Elementary School. The most visible change will be at the intersection of Mission and Magnolia, where crews will put in a new enhanced crosswalk with a pedestrian hybrid beacon system. Money to pay for the nearly $1 million project will come from a Washington State grant and the Arterial Street Fund. To learn more about the project, you can look for this story on KXLY.com. Well, revitalizing downtown Spokane has long been a priority for many in our community.
And now a new micro hotel and apartment building is stepping up to the plate. It is right next to the Ridpath Apartments. The more than 100-year-old building is located on the corner of Howard Street and Sprague Avenue. Alexandra Cohen-Yards joins us live from the lobby of this new hotel, where some celebrations are happening tonight. And Alexandra, what makes these new renovations to the building so unique?
Kirsten, this is far from your typical hotel experience. Everywhere you look, there's vibrant colors, unique decor, and carefully chosen furniture that is meant to bring out the uniqueness of this iconic building while creating spaces for people to come together. Hotels are more than just places to stay. They can also foster connections. The new Simmons Block Hotel is redefining how it does this by adding a unique twist to a visitor's experience.
We want people to come here and not only be able to have a place to sleep in between appointments or visiting Spokane, but to feel that sense of playfulness, to understand a little bit that this is a community where people genuinely care about each other in their city, and we want to demonstrate that.
When walking through the Simmons Block building, you see hints of Spokane sprinkled all over, with vibrant paintings and murals painted by local artists. The idea behind the design is simple: to offer a welcoming atmosphere that makes both guests and residents feel safe, something that has been a challenge in the neighborhood.
Anything that we can do to help bring back that sense of, hey, we need to treasure our downtown. This is, as I said a moment ago, it's the beating heart of Spokane, in my opinion, and we need to make sure that heartbeat is healthy.
Troy Pouyer, property manager and Spokane local, says this improvement the area the building is in has been a top priority. How he thinks these new renovations will make a difference?
The apartments, obviously, giving people a place to live, a place that's downtown, which is honestly the heart of Spokane. But the other thing is, like this lounge we're in right now, this is going to be open for certain time ranges to the public. Anybody who wants to come up here, spend some time.
And right now you can already see some of those public spaces being put to use behind me with a First Friday event taking place, which is meant to showcase local artists here in Spokane. Other than those 9 hotel rooms, there's also 14 apartments, out of which 4 are currently available for rent. Reporting live from downtown, Alexandra Cohen-Yards, 4 News Now.
Well, still ahead, it is a skier's paradise at our local resorts, with the mountains getting lots of snow over the last few weeks.
But there could be danger lurking between the trees because of our above-average snowfall. That's coming up in about 20 minutes. And up next, we'll take you inside the last few hours now of Gordy's Szechuan Cafe on 4 News Now at 6.
Connect with 4 News Now on KXLY+.
Hey, good morning, America. Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
It's back, the Big Boat Show. 4 big days. Come on out, shop and compare. There's something for everyone at the Spokane County Fair and Expo Center. Learn more at SpokaneBoatShow.com.
Once a year, celebrities gather at Hollywood's most prestigious event.
Not what you were expecting?
This is Celebrity Jeopardy!
What? You made that up.
Wednesday, stars compete to win $1 million for charity.
It's a date. I'm here to dominate.
Who will be the next Celebrity Jeopardy champion? Are you feeling confident?
Ready.
I'm here. Celebrity Jeopardy season premiere Wednesday at a new time, 9/8 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu.
Weekdays, H&I is on a mission.
Move on.
To get your blood pumping, your adrenaline rushing, and your heart pounding.
Just don't get carried away.
Heroes and Icons presents The Day Shift.
Level with me. What are we dealing with?
5 heroic hours of iconic shows, 5 days a week.
Gotta hand it to them. They are a spunky bunch.
Watch Heroes and Icons over the air on KXLY 4.3.
Let's take a flight to Flight 509 Family Fun Center in the Spokane Valley. Get lost in 22,000 square feet of adventure for the whole family. Climbing, spinning, battling, striking, leaping, launching, exploring, invading, celebrating, and so much more. No, doggy. At Flight 509, fun really does take flight.
At More Furniture, we're starting the new year with freedom of choice. Choose from the widest variety of styles and colors for every room in your home. With cozy sofas, elegant dining sets, and stylish bedrooms, we've got everything you need to create your dream home. Plus, during this holiday weekend, you'll get our very best offer. Pay no interest until 2026. Get free white glove delivery, and we'll pay your sales tax. Hurry into More Furniture this New Year's weekend for the best selection.
Come on out to the Spokane Boat Show. We've got boats of all types and sizes. Heavy metal, smaller fishing boats, open bow, high-performance ski and wakeboard boats, pontoons, kayaks, canoes, and personal watercraft.
I'll ask about. Did you do a swan lot? Okay.
Well, Gordy's Szechuan Cafe is serving its final customers today. The South Hill staple is closing its doors after more than 2 decades in business. Gordy's has been unable to make ends meet, with surging overhead costs and inflated prices keeping customers away.
But today, the beloved cafe was packed with supportive customers who waited in line to get one final dish before Gordy's closes its doors for good. Jordan Smith shares the emotional goodbye for the owner who gave everything to this business.
Next yellow for garlic black bean beef. Did you do a swan lot? Okay.
These are the sounds of a community staple.
Where's my coffee cup for the love of all that is holy?
Sounds we take for granted.
It's just the end of a very, very, very big, important thing in my life and in Spokane, I think.
Lee Riendo has emptied her heart into this joint on the South Hill. A humble cafe that's been dishing up mouth-watering plates for more than 20 years.
Thank you, thank you.
But like so many neighborhood spots, Gordy's found itself in a heavyweight fight against skyrocketing prices and customers strapped for cash. An uphill battle even for a certified Hall of Famer.
At some point in time, you have to make the call. I have to make my mortgage.
Yeah.
I still have a 12-year-old at home.
The community honoring them with one last rush today, forming a line out the door to say thank you to the people who gave generations of families a place to grab a delicious bite.
And they let me step inside the kitchen just briefly here to show you they are firing on all cylinders here. On top of the incredible, hard-working staff, people are going to miss this extraordinary food that they've come to love.
The kitchen fielding orders nonstop for hours. Lee, overwhelmed by the support.
Look at that. I just love them all.
She's sad to see the restaurant go, but she's confident someone can revive it down the line.
I think it's going to go on. I don't know how, and it's not going to be me, but it can't die like this.
Her last message to the community:
thank you. Everybody, thank you. And Bottle Bay is right next door. Do not forget about them. Thank you.
Asking you to keep shopping local. For 4 News Now, I'm Jordan Smith.
Oh, what a great tribute. Thank you, Jordan, and thank you, Lee. 4 things to know about your weather. Rain turning to snow across the region right now. It is going to be dry most of Saturday, but then there's another round of rain and snow coming in late. And to a rainy start to Sunday. I'll tell you about some breaks coming up after the break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
When it matters most, America turns to David Muir and ABC's World News Tonight.
Whether planning your big day or needing a final touch, the Spokane Wedding Expo is for you. Experience firsthand all the aspects of a great wedding. Food, fashion, photography, flowers, and music, all in one place. For tickets, visit SpokaneWeddingExpo.com.
Today, we bring you the profile of a hero. Marine Private First Class Gomer Pyle.
Heroes come in all shapes and sizes. But this hero is a musical Marine. Gomer Pyle.
Watch Me TV over the air on KXLY 4.2.
My name is Jennifer, and this is my Summit Cancer Center story. I was diagnosed with breast cancer in November of 2015. Getting a cancer diagnosis is literally like having the rug pulled out from underneath you. When I'm at Summit Cancer Centers, I feel like they're kind of part of my family in a sense. They've always had my best interests in mind, so I'm actually very hopeful for the future. I would recommend Summit Cancer Center.
Papa Murphy's new cheesy stuffed crust pizza. It's what stuffed crust pizza should be. Hot, melty, and fresh from your oven. Starting at $13.99.
Whether planning your big day or needing a final touch, the Spokane Wedding Expo is for you. Experience firsthand all the aspects of a great wedding. Food, fashion, photography, flowers, and music, all in one place. For tickets, visit SpokaneWeddingExpo.com.
2025, bring it. Bring it. Bring it. January mornings on GMA. It is time to start strong in 2025.
Let's do it, people.
How you feel, how you look, living your best.
Come on, start strong. Come on, start strong.
Come on, start strong.
Did I finish with this?
Next, E.T. Golden Globes Beauty Prep. Only we're with host Nikki Glazer.
I'm ready for the red carpet.
And WWE's Liv Morgan gives us an exclusive farm tour.
Next, E.T.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Entertainment Tonight at 7:30.
All right, welcome back. You'll want to keep those snow scrapers handy because we have more snow on the way.
And Chris, will we need our shovels and snow blowers?
No, and maybe just the brush to brush that wet, goopy snow off. It's not this kind of icy snow. It is warm. Let's take a look at live conditions right now. In fact, it's right on that rain-snow line. It's been snowing here in downtown for about an hour, but it is not sticking, and it's 33 degrees. Meanwhile, it is still reported as rain at the airport in Coeur d'Alene. Also 33 degrees, but it will eventually transition over to snow as well. It's just going to take a while for this snow to stick. Here is a look at our radar. It is quite colorful. Looks like, well, I won't say, but it looks like a lot of different types of precipitation right down through that I-90 area along the river. It is mostly in the form of rain, but you don't have to gain much elevation in any direction to find some snow. We are going to keep that precipitation going in earnest through 7 o'clock, and then it will slowly start to taper off. Now, precipitation in terms of measurable snow or rain, it goes down to 0 by 5 a.m., but we'll still see some sprinkles and flurries right on through mid-morning. It's just really not going to amount to much other than a nuisance, or you may need to use your windshield wiper once or twice. Forecast snow through 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. It is going to be fairly light. Again, some of the high higher terrain. Could see in the neighborhood of an inch plus. A lot of locations, however, we are looking at less than an inch. And then as we warm up into the mid-30s, we'll start to see some of that melting. We'll stay dry most of the day then on Saturday. I'm going to start our forecast radar out Saturday at 8 o'clock in the evening. A dry start to the evening, but it won't take long before that wet weather returns. Here's midnight Sunday, and again, falling in a variety of forms, but mostly rain or a rain-snow mix. Not expecting any additional accumulation on Saturday night into Sunday. Sunday, 7 a.m., not completely dry, a shower or two, and then we do dry out completely as we get into the afternoon. Your planning forecast then, 20% chance of measurable precipitation on Saturday, most of that coming late Saturday night into Sunday morning, and then the rest of the day on Sunday will be dry with a high of 38, so a good portion of your weekend is going to be dry. And then see what happens next week. Temperatures will actually be fairly cool, right about average. That is territory we have not spent much time in, with overnight lows down in the 20s, a lot of frosty spots on the roads in the morning. But I think we're going to see some sunshine off and on through the week, something that has been in relatively short supply, and a 20% chance of rain back in the forecast next Friday. But between now and then, it is going to be some pretty nice, pleasant weather, and not too warm, not too cold. Derek?
All right, still ahead, new details on the New Orleans terror attack. What the driver did to cover his tracks before heading to the French Quarter. Next on 4 News Now at 6.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
You ain't nothing but a hound dog.
Witness the rock and roll flair reminiscent of the king himself, Elvis Presley. Ladies and gentlemen, Moses Snow live at the Coeur d'Alene Casino Thursday, January 16th. Visit cdacasino.com for tickets.
Winning is just the beginning.
Don't shop in the cold. R&R RV in North Spokane has over 120 RVs indoors at 525 East Francis. Right now, save thousands with huge year-end discounts and clearance pricing. The time to buy is now. Don't shop in the cold. Shop over 120 RVs indoors. Motorhomes, fifth wheels, travel trailers, all indoors at R&R RV in North Spokane, 525 East Francis, or online at rnrrv.com.
It feels like we've been keeping the secret for so long.
So long? Because you posted a photo spoiling our crossover episode.
Oh, was I not supposed to do that? But I can finally talk about that hilarious...
Rob, no.
How about when Dee...
No!
Charlie.
Robert, no. You can't talk about it at all. So, any questions?
Home. It's both a place and a feeling. At yours, you strive to make new memories, create traditions, share stories, find the fun, embrace the surprises, and celebrate moments big and small. Memories are made at home, in every room, in every moment. Make your house feel like home at the Tin Roof.
Station 51. Station 51. We have an emergency. Television is in dire need of help.
Why don't you just call a television repairman?
You just can't let this machinery intimidate you.
Emergency. Paramedics Johnny Gage and Roy DeSoto. Please report to MeTV immediately. Dr. Brackett, Dr. Early, and Nurse McCall are awaiting your arrival.
All right. We'll be there in a second.
Emergency.
Watch weekdays on MeTV 4.2.
You ain't nothing but a hound dog.
Witness the rock and roll flair reminiscent of the king himself, Elvis Presley. Ladies and gentlemen, Moses Snow live at the Coeur d'Alene Casino Thursday, January 16th. Visit cdacasino.com for tickets.
Winning is just the beginning.
Hey, good morning, America. Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
Around the nation.
The Honorable Mike Johnson of the state of Louisiana, having received a majority of the votes cast, is duly elected Speaker of the House of Representatives for the 119th Congress.
As you just heard, Representative Mike Johnson will remain Speaker of the House. While he managed to retain his position during the first ballot, it was a little up in the air for a while. At first, 3 Republicans voted against Johnson, which was more votes than he could afford to lose. But eventually, 2 of those 3 changed their vote, giving Johnson the victory. This was also one of the last votes that will include longtime Eastern Washington Representative Kathy McMorris Rodgers.
The Congresswoman has represented the 5th District since 2005, and she released a statement saying she has truly lived the American dream and thanked the people of Eastern Washington, writing, "Thank you for putting your trust in me to be your voice in Congress for the past 20 years. Each person that I have met along the way influenced and inspired me in ways that I couldn't imagine. Serving you has been the honor of my life." I recently sat down with McMorris Rodgers ahead of the general election. Here's what she had to say when I asked what is next for her.
I'm looking forward to being able to spend more time here. The kids are in school here in Eastern Washington and in Spokane, and our home is here, and I'm looking forward to being able to be present more here and exploring what's next as far as what life is going to look like.
Washington's 5th District is now being represented by Michael Baumgartner, seen here in the Capitol building with his kids before being sworn in earlier today. All right, new details on the attack in New Orleans that left 14 people dead. Investigators say they are now trying to learn more about Shamsu Din Jabbar's trip to Egypt in 2023. They want to know exactly what he did there and who he interacted with, or who interacted with him to see if he had been radicalized prior to that trip.
And we also now know Jabbar set a small fire in the hallway at a property he rented to try to destroy evidence. However, after Jabbar left that residence, the fire burned itself out before spreading to other rooms. The fire department says they were able to recover material to potentially make a bomb and what looked like a homemade silencer.
Now, New Orleans City Council says it will seek out its own answers into what one member is calling troubling revelations surrounding the deadly attack. CNN's Lee Waldman has the story.
Federal security agencies are advising law enforcement across the country to be on the lookout for potential threat of copycat attacks. Tonight, we're above Bourbon Street, above street level, but just behind us on the corner is where one of those improvised explosive devices was found inside of a cooler.
This was a cascading series of failures.
New Orleans City Council member J.P. Morrell is demanding answers into why more wasn't done to prevent the deadly truck attack on New Year's Day.
During the FBI briefing yesterday, it was made public that this individual posted on social media well before the attack that he intended to do something, and that this was not flagged.
Equally concerning, he says, the lack of use of the city's protective bollards. A 2019 security report raised the alarm about the safety structure's vulnerabilities. And city leaders said this week that the bollards were in the process of being replaced, which is why they weren't activated on the morning of the attack. Now the city council is launching its own investigation.
It's troubling that with the Super Bowl being awarded to the city, that this was not prioritized immediately to get done. We're getting to the bottom of what happened, because right now there was a problem.
The police chief confirmed that wedges and Archer barriers were in place for Sugar Bowl crowds on Thursday.
Even if it did malfunction, we have all of this extra protection. But we have raised it. We have what we call the archers for the sidewalk protection.
Archers that remain in place today, but weren't there on New Year's Day when the truck's driver veered around a police car and drove onto the sidewalk. All factors spurring the council's new fact-finding mission.
Obviously, what was done to address this problem before this attack was beyond insufficient, and we're going to find the answers to those questions.
Tonight, we're learning that where Jabbar turned onto Bourbon Street from Canal Street was the only sidewalk wide enough for a vehicle to fit through. Others would have been too narrow. That's according to Louisiana Representative Troy Carter. In New Orleans, I'm Lee Waldman reporting.
We have much more coming up tonight at 6:30.
Including why the U.S. Surgeon General wants to add warning labels to all bottles of alcohol. Plus, a snowboarder's fatal fall into a tree well. We're sharing the life-saving gear and survival tips you need to stay safe on the mountain coming up after the break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
So you want somewhere to play? We got you. I want some tasty food? We got you. Heard you want to do some shopping? We got you. The live music is always popping at the Coeur d'Alene Casino. Coeur d'Alene Casino. Where winning is just the beginning.
I'm Mark Peterson. During this season of giving, consider donating or volunteering with the Inland Northwest Wildlife Council, producers of the Big Horn Show, an organization committed to protecting and enhancing wildlife and fish habitat. Your donation supports numerous programs like early hunter education, wildlife habitat build-out, access to wildlands for those with disabilities, and mentoring programs. Check out their impact at inwc.org and give or volunteer today.
At Furniture Row, a new year calls for a new sofa, sectional, dining group, bedroom set, mattress, and more. Because the New Year's Super Sale has been extended, so getting it all has never been easier. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend and watch the savings add up. Or score 60 months, no interest financing. Say goodbye to tired old designs. And hello to killer new looks at great prices. But hurry, the extended New Year's Super Sale at Furniture Row ends soon.
All right, gang, it's on and popping.
Hi, Dad. Papa! I need a place to stay until I figure out what the rest of my life looks like.
So, a couple of days.
Oh.
Really?
Can I just get one quick peek?
No. How do I look? Thanks, girl.
Where did y'all find this man? Go see your new
We're really doing this, huh?
We're doing it.
Your alarm goes off.
That's when we come alive.
We're on with what's new this morning. What's happening now?
And what's next for you?
Breaking news you need to know now.
The latest weather for you.
And your family, so you're all ready for the day. Get what's new now and next at 5 and 6 a.m. Right here.
And right here at 7 a. Because we're on all morning long. Good morning, America.
Good morning, Spokane.
Good morning, Northwest and GMA.
Tee off in style at Circling Ravens' top-tier golf suites. Play more than 80 famous golf courses around the world. It's a hole-in-one for all skill levels. Visit cdacasino.com for details.
Winning is just the beginning.
Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
Plenty of fresh snow is falling on the mountains, and many families are planning to ski or snowboard this weekend.
But that fresh snow can create hazards like tree wells that can be very dangerous and trap even experienced riders. Derek Strom went to a local ski shop to learn what to watch out for in the mountains.
We've already seen a handful of skiing and snowboarding accidents so far this winter, but in order to stay safe, there's a few steps you can take, and it all starts with making sure you have the proper gear and that you're prepared to go skiing or snowboarding. Local ski shops like Solnick's and Spokane have all kinds of gear with safety equipment already built in. That includes jackets with whistles to get the attention of ski patrol or other skiers or snowboarders in case of an emergency. Solnick's also sells a beacon that can track your location so other people know where to find you in case you get lost. And when you're heading up to the mountain, going with someone else that can keep an eye on you is always a good idea.
So if you're unsure, not exactly knowing where to go, talking to a lifty, a ski patroller, a mountain host, they will give you an amazing rundown of what you should do and what not to do.
The heavy snow our area is seeing so far this winter is also creating tree wells, which are caused by low branches preventing snow from settling around the trunk. Those tree wells act like sinkholes and can trap skiers and snowboarders, like in this video taken on Mount Baker back in 2023. You can see the skier making his way down the mountain when he sees a snowboard sticking out in the snow. The skier rushed to dig him out. Thankfully, he managed to dig him out in time, and the snowboarder ended up making a full recovery. That's why it's important that someone knows where you are anytime you're skiing or snowboarding. In Spokane, Derek Strom, 4 News Now.
Well, more than 2 weeks after placing him on leave, the city of Pullman finally confirmed the status of its police chief. This all started when the city was informed of allegations against Chief Jake Opgennorth. Those allegations are being investigated by the Washington State Patrol. Opgennorth was also served a protection order from a woman with whom he had a previous relationship. She requested the protection order over concerns of domestic violence and sexual assault. When asked earlier this week to confirm if the chief was on leave, Pullman Mayor Francis Benjamin directed 4 News Now to an attorney who has yet to return our calls for comment. But the mayor released a statement today reading, "We are fully committed to cooperating with the investigation, and while we are dedicated to maintaining transparency, we must also respect the integrity of the investigative and judicial processes and cannot comment further at this point." Pullman Police Commander Aaron Brashears tells us he is now the acting chief of the department.
Let's send it over now to Chris Crocker, tracking another round of snow on the way.
Well, that rain is turning to snow this evening. Here's a look now at Hayden. This is US 95 and Lancaster, and you can see the roads are getting a little bit slushy there, and I always rely on this lamppost to see if it's snowing or raining. Very definitely snowing and coming down at a pretty good rate. Different story in Sandpoint. I'll take you now to US 2 and Boyer, where the roads are mostly just wet right now. That will not be the case for long, however. It is cooling down, and that precipitation is turning over to snow. We have a winter weather advisory in effect through tomorrow morning for the areas shaded in purple on your screen. It does include the Idaho, Palouse, Kootenai County, as well as the Northeast Mountains and North Idaho, but not Spokane. We are going to see the heavier snowfall totals, and they're not especially heavy through North Idaho. I'll show you in just a moment, but we have got that precipitation that was all rain earlier today, slowly transitioning to snow, and eventually will start sticking in most locations right around Spokane. It is falling, but not really sticking to the roads just yet. Our forecast radar, starting off at our current time, shows that we will continue to see that snow. Here's midnight through the first part of the overnight, trying to taper off tomorrow morning. Here's 8 a.m., but still a few flurries around the region. Snowfall totals, meanwhile, this has been a bit of a work in progress. At our current rate, these totals have been updated. We may see in a neighborhood of 2 inches around Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, with some of the outlying areas getting even more. And I'll take a closer look at that in just a few minutes. But first, I want to show you your Saturday planner. Once those last flurries taper off, we are dry for the rest of the day until late Saturday night. Then the next system starts moving in. I'll let you know what to expect for the second half of your weekend in just a few minutes. Derek?
Well, Grand Coulee Dam can generate more electricity than any other dam in North America. Its power has long been a marvel for all of those in the Pacific Northwest.
As an added attraction, the Bureau of Reclamation recently brought back the original light show that began back in 1958. And Marissa Rio tells us what this light show means to the families making new memories.
Look at the beautiful lights on there. I used to watch that when I was a little girl.
Cool.
Isn't that pretty?
Yeah, it is.
As the Lancaster family braved the cold weather, they watched in awe as Grand Coulee Dam beamed with red, purple, and yellow hues.
My first memory was probably when I was like 4 years old.
For Lisa, this experience was nostalgic. She used to watch this show with her mom.
I like all the different colors, and I like how it looks.
Now, she's making those same memories with her daughter. The original light bar here was built in the 1950s and lit up the dam every summer beginning in 1958. This nighttime spectacle went on for decades.
Then there was a fire in 2000 that severed the cable that feeds the light bank.
The community has waited to see it again ever since, until now. After about $15,000 in repairs, the Bureau of Reclamation recommissioned the lights this past New Year's Eve.
It's for the public. We are very proud of this iconic structure in our nation, and we enjoy showing it off, and we do this to help bring a notoriety to what we have here.
For some people in the community, they've only heard stories about this historical light show.
We've never seen the iconic lights, the light bar, the old light bar. It's beautiful. Yeah, this dam is awesome.
If you're hoping to catch this historic light show for yourself, there's free parking here at the Grand Coulee Visiting Center. I'm going to take a step out of the way so you can see what the view is like from here. There's also parking below this area where you can take a closer look at this light show.
The show will be playing every night from 5 to 7 through March 6th. In Grand Coulee, Marissa Rio, 4 News Now.
Well, Washington State football is set to begin their new era with head coach Jimmy Rogers.
He has his introductory press conference set for next week, and our sports director Jack Wallace has more on the presser and some background on Coach Rogers after the break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
When it matters most, America turns to David Muir and ABC's World News Tonight.
You ain't nothing but the rock and roll flair of Elvis Elvis Presley. Moses Snow live at the Coeur d'Alene Casino Thursday, January 16th. The sound, excitement, and fun of the Rod Stewart Hybrid Tribute live at the Coeur d'Alene Casino Thursday, February 20th. Don Felder, formerly of the Eagles, one of the most innovative songwriters of the rock era, live Thursday, March 6th. Visit the Coeur d'Alene Casino box office or cdacasino.com for tickets.
Winning is just the beginning.
Station 51. Station 51. We have an emergency. Television is in dire need of help.
Why don't you just call a television repairman?
You just can't let this machinery intimidate you.
Emergency. Paramedics Johnny Gage and Roy DeSoto. Please report to ETV immediately. Dr. Brackett, Dr. Early, and Nurse McCall are awaiting your arrival.
All right. We'll be there in a second.
Emergency.
Watch weekdays on MeTV 4.2.
At More Furniture, we're starting the new year with freedom of choice. Choose from the widest variety of styles and colors for every room in your home. With cozy sofas, elegant dining sets, and stylish bedrooms, we've got everything you need to create your dream home. Plus, during this holiday weekend, you'll get our very best offer. Pay no interest until 2026. Get free white glove delivery, and we'll pay your sales tax. Hurry into More Furniture this New Year's weekend for the best selection.
Stay safe during the winter travel season with 4 News Now. I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker. The First Alert weather team is working around the clock, pinpointing the safest times to travel, alerting you to danger so you'll always be prepared. Follow Live Radar on our app and watch live streaming updates free on KXLY+. 4 News Now First Alert weather. Trust us to keep you safe wherever you're headed. That's what we mean when we say expect more.
Weekdays on H&I. Buckle up.
Now strap yourself in. Put on your seatbelt.
Shift into gear.
Gear up. Let's roll.
And punch it.
Now this here is a different kind of driver.
For 5 hours of all gas and no brakes.
Keep the pedal to the metal, kid.
From heroes who always come through in the clutch.
I can't breathe. You're gonna see some fancy driving.
The H&I Day Shift. Watch Heroes and Icons over the air on KXLY 4.3.
Drive safe.
All right, we have some breaking news just into the newsroom. The Bonner County Sheriff's Office is looking for a missing 10-year-old girl.
Yeah, the Sheriff's Office says this young girl was last seen near Old Ridge Road in Clark Fork earlier today. Investigators say she's about 4'11", weighs around 70 pounds, and has brown hair and blue eyes. She was wearing a bright turquoise jacket, black pants and boots, and she may be with a long-haired livestock guardian dog that sort of looks like a wolf. Anyone with information about where she may be should contact the Bonner County Sheriff's Office or call 911.
All right, let's send it over now to Sports Director Jack Wallace for a look at sports.
Washington State football comes off a tumultuous season. They saw the heights of 8 wins and a strong bowl berth, but also the loss of their star quarterback and head coach. But today, we finally have a date set for the introductory press conference for the next leader of the Cougs, head coach Jimmy Rogers. Rogers arrives to Pullman after inking a 5-year deal just 6 days ago. He led the FCS South Dakota State Jackrabbits, you're watching now, to a national championship in the 2023 season and helped as the defensive coordinator for their first ever title just a year before. Star SDSU players like Griffin Wilde and Mark Gronowski both are in the transfer portal right now, but award-winning QB Gronowski, you're seeing score right here, could elect to enter the NFL draft. Now for that 15-0 title-winning 2023 season, Rogers won the Eddie Robinson Award. That's the FCS top head coach trophy. Press conference is set for this Thursday, January 9th at 2 p.m., so we're going to have full coverage of that coming up next week. Washington State and Oregon State ended up in the same boat after the collapse of the Pac-12, both new members, at least for the moment, of the West Coast Conference. Beavers broke the Cougs' winning streak in the series last year, 65-52 in Pullman, but after WSU's home loss, you're seeing now to Santa Clara, the team now shifts their focus to righting the ship in the rivalry.
Got to see a great response from our players in order for us to have any kind of chance against a great team coming in here on Saturday that we have a long history with and it knows a lot about winning in their system. So this is a tough one to swallow, but I think this is a really good example of how hungry teams can outplay and outwork other teams.
Oregon State has the second lowest scoring offense in the WCC, and as a team, they're the worst overall and three-point shooting team in the conference. So WSU is going to look to punish that poor offense with a defense that's top third in shooting. weakness they're going to struggle to exploit. That tip-off's tomorrow at noon. But we have plenty of Friday night hoops coming up this evening. Handful of games to cover: Deer Park, West Valley, Ferris and Ridgeline, Central Valley, Gonzaga Prep, and Rogers North Central. A lot of very solid teams in that list as the GSL really starts to begin. A lot going on. We have highlights of all these games coming up on night sides. We're only a couple Fridays away now from the start of our full basketball Friday Night Sports Extra. We're going to be restarting that and doing it here, so can't wait to get more basketball coverage all around the area.
Where are you going tonight if people want to say hi?
Ooh, tonight, my first stop is probably going to be Central Valley, Gonzaga Prep, and then I'm going to head over to the North Central game.
Okay.
I know, for people who don't know about Friday Night Sports Extras, all of our local high school sports. It's so fun. It's really
Love
good
to do
time.
it.
All right, thanks, Jack. Well, the U.S. Surgeon General now sounding the alarm about potential cancer-causing problems, even with moderate amounts of alcohol. So Surgeon General Vivek Murthy on X stating that drinking is the third leading preventable cause of cancer after tobacco and obesity, and that it contributes to about 100,000 cancer cases and 20,000 cancer deaths each year. Murthy stating that any kind of alcohol consumption increases risks for at least 7 different cancers, including breast cancer. He's now suggesting an update to the current warning on drinks to include cancer risk warnings similar to those on cigarettes.
It's not that surprising to see that these guidelines the discussion has been going back and forth for so many years because the research is continuously evolving.
Well, those government warning labels for alcohol have remained the same for nearly 40 years. Only warning of dangers to pregnancy, driving, and heavy machinery warning. And then it, quote, may cause health problems, and a change would need legislation passed by Congress.
It is going to be a great weekend to go skiing. There's fresh snow, and it's not going to be too cold. 66 at the base at Schweitzer, 3 inches of new in the last 24 hours. Everybody has a little bit of new snow. Also, everybody is getting new snow by tomorrow morning, so it's going to be even better. I'll be back with your 7-day forecast.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
The New Year's Super Sale at Furniture Row has been extended. Right now, save $100 on every $1,000 you spend, or score 60 months, no interest. Say goodbye to tired old designs. And hello to killer looks. But hurry, the extended New Year's Super Sale at Furniture Row ends soon.
Stay safe while traveling this winter. Before you head out, trust the First Alert weather team to pinpoint the safest times to go and exactly what to expect. 4 News Now First Alert weather on air, on the app, and streaming on KXLY Plus.
Today, we bring you the profile of a hero. Marine Private First Class Gomer Pyle.
Heroes come in all shapes and sizes. But this hero is a musical Marine. Gomer Pyle.
Watch Me TV over the air on KXLY 4.2.
It's Special Agent Will Trent. How do I look? Thanks, girl. First case back. We're gonna solve this.
I think it's important for us as tribal people to educate and inform others as to who we are and what we're about. We have a beautiful culture that we respect our lands, we respect our waters.
Our medical center serves Indian and non-Indian. We were the first one in the nation to do that.
We built the $25 million core center for the children.
We also house the Boys and Girls Club out of there.
Our employees here are friendly. It gives you that welcome home feeling.
It feels like we've been keeping the secret for so long.
So long? Because you posted a photo spoiling our crossover episode.
Oh, was I not supposed to do that? But I can finally talk about that hilarious...
Rob, no.
How about when Dee...
No!
Charlie.
Robert, no. You can't talk about it at all. So, any questions?
The New Year's Super Sale at Denver Mattress has been extended. So there's still time to save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Check out the Summit Firm for only $299.99. Or score 60 months no interest and free shipping. Happy New Year from Denver Mattress.
When it matters most, America turns to David Muir and ABC's World News Tonight.
Welcome back. We are looking at more snow for the weekend.
Yeah, indeed. Let's go over to Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker for a look at how much we might be able to expect.
Well, we are going to see a little more. I've updated the predicted snowfall totals. I'm going to get to that in just a moment. I want to show you how far behind average we are on snow so far this season. Didn't get any in October. We were less than half of our average in November, less than half of our average in December, only 4 inches. So far in January, off to a decent start, considering we're only 3 days in, 1.5 inches, and we are adding to that as we speak. We have had a trace so far today. Now, as I mentioned, I've updated the snowfall totals around the region through tomorrow morning based on the rate at which we are converting to snow, which is fairly fast. It probably is snowing at your house if you live in the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Many locations could see between 1.5 inches and 2 inches of snow. Some spots getting a little more out at Airway Heights, Fairchild Air Force Base, 2.5 inches, 2 in Cheney and Spangle and Hayden, a little over 1 inch in Coeur d'Alene, and almost 2 inches in Post Falls, Liberty Lake, as well as Deer Park, and almost 1.5 inches in Meade. On our radar right now, still many locations showing up as green right along the Spokane River, right along I-90. It's non-accumulating snow so far. There's just a few patches on the grassy surfaces where it's starting to stick, but it is flat out snowing further to the west and to the north up around Spirit Lake, Deer Park, and more of a rain-snow mix or snow happening as we head further south around Spangle. But if it is not snow at your house yet, it will be soon. That said, our chance of precipitation does start tapering off this evening. We're at 100% at 7 o'clock, but then down to 30% by 1 a.m. Finally, a 0% chance of accumulating snow tomorrow morning. The flurries will continue off and on right on through about 8 o'clock, and then we will dry out more significantly for the rest of the day on Saturday before the next system comes in Saturday night. Meanwhile, we will do a lot of melting, particularly on the roadways, because our highs tomorrow will be in the mid to upper 30s throughout the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area. Region-wide, highs in the 30s, 45 in Lewiston, 39 in Moscow and Pullman, 36 in Sandpoint, and 37 degrees in Bonners Ferry. Kind of that sweet spot where our roads are in good condition, but we'll have a little bit of snow if the kids want to build a snowman. And then it's rain Saturday night into Sunday morning. Then most of the day Sunday will be dry, and then most of the week will be dry. We are looking at high temperatures about average, overnight lows down in the 20s, and our next chance of precipitation showing up next Friday, and it's only a 20% chance, Kirsten.
All right, thank you, Chris. It's Friday, and that means it's time to go for a ride on the Air 4 drone.
This week, we're giving you a bird's eye view of one nature preserve that has miles of trails and access to the Little Spokane River. Let's fly above Waikiki Springs, located behind Meade High School.
Welcome to the Waikiki Springs Nature Preserve. It's 95 acres here on the north shore of the Little Spokane River, between Dartford and the Kalispell Golf Course. This is an area where there are 114 acres of Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife land, in addition to the 95 acres of the Waikiki Springs Nature Preserve, which creates about a 200-acre open space for the community, the public, to come and recreate. Waikiki Springs comes from a geographic function where springs of aquifer water actually leak out of the hillside in quite a large volume, to be honest with you, and that recharges the Little Spokane River. So the trails here begin with the trailhead up off of Mill Road at the north end of Fairwood. Then the trail inventory begins with a road that the local longtime users call the Switchbacks, and that road allows you to walk down into this basin, and then you have a number of single track trails go around the property. It's one of the things that the Inland Northwest Land Conservancy is working on these 95 acres, is to come up with a trail plan and to improve the trails so that they're more user friendly. So the Inland Northwest Land Land Conservancy is a local land trust that has been in Spokane since 1991, and in that time we've conserved over 22,000 acres. We have a number of different nature preserves, from Reardon to Palisades neighborhood west of downtown to this nature preserve, the Waikiki Springs Nature Preserve. This is just a beautiful place to come and park and go for a hike, bring your family. I just love the Little Spokane River. It's beautiful all 4 seasons and is very welcoming. It's full of nature, it's full of wildlife, from bald eagles in the area to moose, coyotes. You'll see lots and lots of different animals down here.
Beautiful. Before we go to break, here's a look at ABC's primetime lineup tonight.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Don't shop in the cold. R&R RV in North Spokane has over 120 RVs indoors at 525 East Francis. Right now, save thousands with huge year-end discounts and clearance pricing. The time to buy is now. Don't shop in the cold. Shop over 120 RVs indoors. Motorhomes, fifth wheels, travel trailers, all indoors at R&R RV in North Spokane, 525 East Francis, or online at rnrrv.com.
It's jaw-dropping, it's eye-popping, it's gut-busting. It's showtime. Everyone agrees this show is... so good! Beetlejuice! Coming to First Interstate Center for the Arts December 31st through January 5th.
Stay safe while traveling this winter. Before you head out, trust the First Alert weather team to pinpoint the safest times to go and exactly what to expect. 4 News Now First Alert weather on air, on the app, and streaming on KXLY Plus.
Once a year, celebrities gather at Hollywood's most prestigious event.
Not what you were expecting?
This is Celebrity Jeopardy!
What?
You made that up.
Wednesday, stars compete to win $1 million for charity.
It's a date.
I'm here to dominate. Who will be the next Celebrity Jeopardy champion? Are you feeling confident?
Ready.
I'm here. Celebrity Jeopardy season premiere Wednesday at a new time, 9/8 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu.
I'm Mark Peterson. During this season of giving, consider donating or volunteering with the Inland Northwest Wildlife Council, producers of The Big Horn Show, an organization committed to protecting and enhancing wildlife and fish habitat. Your donation supports numerous programs like early hunter education, wildlife habitat build-out, access to wildlands for those with disabilities, and mentoring programs. Check out their impact at inwc.org and give or volunteer today.
Once again, it's time for Kerner Furniture's annual January clearance sale. Everything in the store is reduced for clearance, and there's never been a better time to buy. Kerner Furniture's January clearance sale. It's time.
If you remember this commercial, it might be time for some new furniture.
And with the Kerner clock ticking, it's the perfect time during our January clearance sale.
Time for a new Lazy Boy recliner at the lowest prices in town? We've got a few.
Find time to come into Kerner Furniture during our January clearance sale.
Clock's ticking.
4 News Now is brought to you by Craig Swap & Associates.
All right, an update to that breaking news tonight. We just learned that the 10-year-old who was missing in Bonner County has been found.
The sheriff's office thanking everyone who came out to help them with their search.
Snow will continue this evening and into the overnight, and it'll pile up in spots. We could see in the neighborhood of 2 inches around the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area. And then we dry out for most of the day on Saturday. We have more wet weather coming in Saturday night and into Sunday, but that's mostly going to be in the form of rain or a rain-snow mix. And then we're going to be dry for most of the day Sunday and right on into the work week.
What's the status on your snowblower, though? Did you get it picked up?
No, it's still waiting apart. The thing you do that to get it started, it broke, and waiting apart.
Okay, so still shoveling for now.
Yeah, I'll be shoveling in the morning.
Helps with the biceps.
There you go.
There you go.
We'll see you tonight at 11 for Night's Ed.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News.